is it true that you keep all your costumes?
Yes.
So but presumably you need a warehouse for them or something, do you?
Well, now I do. I had a little costume room in the garage in my house, and it's long since... I now have them in special boxes, stacked.
You know what you need? Those special bags you put them in, then you get the vacuum cleaner, and then you can...
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And then you can store them all winter.
Yeah, you couldn't do that to Cruella's costumes or...
Oh, actually, I've got pictures of some of your famous costumes.
Oh, do you? They're so incredible.
Les Liaisons Dangereuses.
I have that one.
But now, do you ever wear it?
All the time. I put it on to go grocery shopping.
Yeah, Glenn Close is here again. Can't she let it go?
Yeah.
But the Cruella ones were... they were amazing,
They were great costumes. Anthony Powell. Yeah. There was a woman in New York who had the most wonderful, probably, I think, the best costume shop. And she's made my costumes. She's now no longer with us, but Barbara Matera had the most extraordinary group of women who would do beading like no one else ever. So I consider my costumes as works of art, and they are, because to remake them would be impossible now.
What was that thing where you thought you'd delight some children by being Cruella de Vil?
Oh, yes. Yes, I don't know. I was down. It was down. Harry Connick had invited my daughter and I to go down to Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and it was one of the day parades. And a little girl came across the street with her mother, kind of quivering for an autograph. And you know, her mother said, "This was Cruella." And I thought, I'm not Cruella, right? And I went, and she went, she burst into tears. So right now I have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Because it's scary for children.
And what about things like Fatal Attraction? Do you keep those?
Yes.
And do you get, like, the stains and the bloodshot and the...
Stains?
Well, you know, blood and
yes.
gunshot holes.
In fact, I have a very funny story about my costume. The original ending of Fatal Attraction was I killed myself, which really she would have done that. But they changed it. 6 months after we had finished shooting, we found ourselves reshooting the ending in this little seedy studio in the midtown west side of New York. And I had the white dress on that I wear for the whole last scene, and it was very grubby. We'd done several days of work in it, and I had this little white dog that had to be walked. So, not thinking anything of it, had blood on it, had dirt. I looked like I had been molested. And I saw these two women approaching me. They're going, and I thought, oh, I forgot. I look like I should be going to the hospital. And they got closer and closer, and I got more and more kind of nervous. And when they got within earshot, they said, "What a cute little dog."
So you started off-Broadway.
Yes.
When was this? We've got a picture of you in an off-Broadway show. I think, are you playing a schoolgirl?
Yes, I'm playing Lydia, the captain's daughter, who kept a hedgehog in her vagina and fed it at the table. It was a comedy.
Time for Lolly 3, I think.
I think
How did you get into character?
One of my great parts.
Wow.
I mean, immediately you want to know, what does it eat? But,
Lettuce.
Lettuce, OK.
What drew you to the script?
Very funny. I have a great story about it, but it will take too long.
We've got time.
This was Titanic.
Titanic, yes.
And it said on the... You look like you're on a boat.
Yes, and the boat kept sinking, but it turned out to be a special effects record. And I had an actor's studio teacher come who didn't really have a sense of humor. He came and saw the show, and he said later, you know, and the show was a hit. He said, you know, I didn't really feel that you had a hedgehog in your vagina. And he said, have you really done any work on that? And I went, no, you know, I haven't done any work on that. So the next night, I thought about it all day, and the next night, when I throw my leg up on the table and start feeding it lettuce, which used to bring down the house because it was just, like, casual, suddenly I tried to feel the hedgehog moving down, and it was silent in the audience. Silent. So silent. And finally, I got off stage, and Chris Durang was playing a dead body, and he said, "What happened?" I explained what happened with the actor's studio teacher. He went, "That doesn't sound like a good idea." So the next night, I went back to enjoying the Hedgehog.
Yeah. No one wants to believe it's in there.
They're cute.
So you always come with good stories for us. What stories do you have?
But you do bring out the best in him.
Did you tell me a joke about the flea?
Oh, the flea.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, some of these jokes are classics. The flea contains celebrities' names from the past that I think, out of honor to the joke, shouldn't be changed.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, fine.
This flea wants to go on vacation. He's worked very hard. He goes to the travel agent in New York, and he says, "Hi, I've worked hard for a year. I've got a week off. Do you have any suggestions?" And the travel agent says, "Well, what kind of, holiday are you looking for?" He says, "What do you mean? I'm a flea. I mean, my DNA is the rainforest, heat, warm. I just want to lie out there in the sun like that." "Well, I can give you a week in Ringo Starr's hair in Nice, the south of France." That sounds terrific. A week. So he goes there. He's back after 4 days, and he says, "You didn't like it?" He said, "I hated it." He says, "Ringo Starr never leaves the room, plays the drums all day, shaking his head." He said, "I got a migraine. I just want to be outside in the sun." Yeah, someone a little more elegant. So he says, "Yes, I think I do. Monte Carlo, I can give you a week in Omar Sharif's. He's a classy guy. Give you a week in his mustache." He says, "Oh, now you're talking." He goes there. He's back after 4 days. He says, "You didn't like it?" He says, "No." He says, "This guy never leaves the casino. He plays bridge tournaments all day, all night long. He has a mustache." That's where I was. But then he smokes his cheroots. Smoke goes right up to the mustache. He says, "It was awful. Please, I just want to be outside in the sun, lying there, taking it in. Come on. Got to have something. You're lucky there was a cancellation." "I can give you 1 week in Cannes in Brigitte Bardot's muff." Done deal. He goes there again. He's back after 4 days. Travel agent says, "I give up." He says, "Why?" He says, "You didn't like that holiday?" He says, "Like it? That was the best, greatest holiday I've ever had in my life." He said, "Oh, she just lies out there in the sun. She doesn't want to be around anyone. She's like a sun goddess. She takes a little classical music coming out of a portable radio. She just reads. I'm in her muff. It was so warm and cozy." He says, I was like Nirvana. He says, "I just wanted it to go on forever." He says, "What are you doing back here? You had 3 more days." He says, "Don't ask me. After 3 days, I found myself back in Omar Sharif's mustache."
Kate, before we actually get on to why you're here, I've got to ask you about when you were a student, when you were a drama student. You had this is a bizarre story. You had a house that was quite inexpensive to rent in Sydney. Is this true?
Yes, like most acting students.
But
yes.
wasn't it bizarrely cheap to rent?
Oh, no. I stayed in a house in a suburb called Zetland, which was right underneath a smokestack, and I think everyone had asthma. And I think the smokestack's no longer there. But no, someone was murdered in my room, but I discovered in a really awful... It was horrible.
When you were there?
Yeah, no, someone handed me a DVD of Australia. There's a show called Australia's Most Wanted. Do you have Britain's Most Wanted?
Crime Watch.
Yes,
yeah.
same. And,
Well, Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah. And the room in which I was staying, which was at the time was only $60 a week, which is incredibly cheap. I was watching it in my bed, and I watched a man climb in through my window and strangle a woman in my bed.
Oh my
and there was a woman murdered. And so for years, I would thought, well, this is my chance to sort of meet a ghost. There's been, such a traumatic thing going on here. And then I didn't encounter anything until the day that I left. The house was finally disbanding, and I shut the door, and I heard, "Kate," and I did send.
There was no one in there?
There was no one in there. Oh, well, I was there. No,
yeah, but there was no one saying...
I wasn't saying it to myself.
No, but there was no one else in there saying that.
No. It was really ooga booga. Oh, wow. But she was murdered in my bed. And
Have they changed the bed?
Well, yes.
I guess for $60 a week, you can't
Even
complain.
if the drama students, you did change my own linen.
Because famously, you have this ongoing thing with Brad Pitt.
So I've done some terrible things to Brad. Wait, Brad's done some terrible things to me.
So how did it start?
I don't remember how we were doing Ocean's 11. I think it was the first one, and I don't remember what it was. I think initially I get one of my favorite things is to get those things that go around your license plate or a bumper sticker, because you never go to the back of your car and look, and put it on people's cars because it's funny and they can ride around, you know, with some horrible, you know, embarrassing bumper sticker. And I found a bumper sticker in the shape of a pot plant that said cops. I put it on the back of his car because I figured there's no way you don't get pulled over. I mean, there's no way. And he got pulled over. And then he went on, I think, Letterman and said, you know, Letterman asked him when he and Angie would get married, and he said, when George can legally marry in the United States. He didn't want to. And it just kept going back and forth with that for a while. And then it was, I had stationery made up with his name, and then I would send letters to other actors from Brad Pitt. I sent Meryl Streep a letter from Brad where I got a big thing of CDs that had, it was a dialect coach. And he had like every dialect, you know, Gaelic, Yiddish, every dialect you could possibly, and this huge thing. And I sent it to her with a note from Brad that said, you know, I hear you're going to be doing the Iron Lady soon. This guy helped me with my dialect in Troy or something. You know, here, I thought maybe this would help. And I sent it to Meryl, and, you know, she's very confused. I understand it. And I sent letters to lots and lots of people from Brad.
And is that you don't tell either of them?
I don't tell either, no. I later, like a year or 2 years later, I let them know, and then they're like, are you kidding me? I'm doing one now that I can't tell you about, but in a year you're going to hear that I've been arrested. I'm not kidding, because I think I've crossed the line.
Oh, no. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's exciting. I have a wife, she's a barrister, I'll be fine.
Everyone's very excited that Matt Damon is here, but in certain parts of the audience and the audience at home, there might be some disappointment, because people were perhaps hoping that they would be seeing Matt Damon and his ponytail. The ponytail, it caused quite the sensation this summer, the ponytail, Matt Damon and his ponytail. When did it go?
Well, I had it, you know, I did a movie in China, and so I was there for about 5 months with that thing, and then we did a press conference at the very end. No, it was, you know, it was.
Was it real?
It was hair extensions.
Oh, it wasn't real? Oh,
no,
right.
there were 700 hair extensions. It was a full day to put them in. They flew somebody, a wonderful woman from here, all the way to Beijing to do it, and we did it like on a Sunday. It took us the entire day. So, and then I had to manage that hair. I never knew. I have a whole new appreciation for my wife and daughter. It's very hard to do.
Because Matt Damon's ponytail, it ended up with its own Twitter account. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it had its own Twitter account. But also, people, you know, people really appreciated that ponytail on Twitter. I don't know if you saw any of these tweets.
No,
we found some of the tweets that people... So, Matt Damon with a man bun. Hashtag lady boner. They get worse. You think you have a basic understanding of the world, then you see Matt Damon's ponytail and nothing makes sense anymore. This one's quite extreme. Matt Damon has a ponytail, and if ever puts in a top knot, I think my ovaries might explode. So never put it in a top knot.
I won't do that.
And who knows what this last one means? Matt Damon, I will use your ponytail to steer while you dine upon my lady sandwich. Wow. She's really thought it through. She's...
A lady sandwich. That's a charming thing.
I just like the use of the word steer. Steer. Left a bit, right a bit. That's it.
Then back. You got it now. It was trained sheepdog to steer.
Holding steady, holding steady.
Docking.
You brought it back to science fiction. Well done. But Cher, you are going to be played by someone soon.
Yes.
So there's a
Say
movie.
it's me. Please say it's me.
It's you.
Okay.
Finally.
Have you got? Oh, very good. Have you?
I'm seeing that movie.
You didn't even do the hair. It was very good.
Sometimes it gets caught in your lip gloss.
Have you cast the person yet?
No. It's very... Can I tell you something? We're having the hardest time with this film because I've lived too long and done too much, and nobody seems to be able to squeeze it in. Tom, you could help me. No one seems to be able... Because he has a big production company.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And he's been my boss once already.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, Mamma Mia.
So, yeah, so
I say, as long as whoever it is sings Fernando, it'll be fine.
Okay. I'm going to do all the music because I don't like it when people try to imitate people. It kind of takes you away from the moment. But
Sometimes, not all the time.
why did you do that?
No, I'm just saying.
No.
It might be fine when someone playing Bob Dylan does it.
Probably. You saved me.
Yeah.
You saved me.
Well, all right.
Might be.
It'll probably be fine.
But not you, because you're Cher, of course.
Yeah.
Julia.
You're Cher, my God. How do you stand yourself?
I don't. No, I'm a pain in the ass.
But have you started auditioning people?
No, babe, we haven't even finished the script. One script from, like, one of my favorite writers, brilliant, just said, Cher, I can't get it. I've been trying and trying, but I just can't put it all together. I don't know how I can't put it together.
Maybe make it a big, fancy, like, HBO series.
Mini-series.
Yeah.
Maxi-series.
Yeah, well, I don't think so.
No, okay. I mean, I was just trying to help.
I believe we're shooting the final scene of the movie right now. We get together, try that out.
Now, we mentioned the two of you working together, you and Emma. Obviously, brother and sister in Love Actually, which you forget that you're the brother and sister in that movie. And then lovers in Sense and Sensibility. Beautiful. Of course,
He was so grumpy all the way. So grumpy. He knew me, he'd known me for years. There was nothing there for him. He knew that I wasn't going to cough up. Actually, he couldn't have been less interested. I'm trying to make it look good. But in fact...
I did let you down on that. I was grumpy, fat, bad,
you were
and got
richer than
arrested
God
halfway
as
through
well.
the... Yeah.
Well, you were so famous because you hadn't been famous. We'd done 2 films together where neither of us was famous, and then you were suddenly very famous because of 4 Weddings.
What were those other 2 films?
Impromptu, where you played Chopin in a terrible wig.
Yes.
And The Remains of the Day, where you got killed in the war.
Yes, very sad.
Very sad. Yeah.
and of course, famously directed by Ang Lee.
Yes.
Now, did you both feel the same about Ang Lee, or was one of you keener on Ang Lee than the other?
Could that be a leading question?
It sounds like...
I think we all ended
loved
up adoring him.
We adored
but
him.
the opening, the first initial scenes were tricky because he was a man of very few words, partly because his English wasn't great at that time, and also because he was this great sage from Taiwan, and he was like Grasshopper, and you waited for his words of wisdom. And I remember doing quite an easy scene with Emma, walking down beneath some trees. I thought we were being rather good, and we went up to Ang Lee, who was sitting at the monitor afterwards, and said, "What do you think, Ang? What do you think?" And he said, very boring. And it was really crushing. He hadn't developed the thing of telling, English actors, me in particular, I have to be told I'm marvellous all the time. I hadn't got any of that. So I remember him saying to Kate Winslet, "You will get better."
So, he said to you,
yes.
Could you do one like a bad actor?
Yeah, and I said, I think you've seen that one, though.
But the scene that I think everyone remembers, and it's
funnily enough, we called him Fang Lee. I remember that. Just thinking.
Which wasn't hilarious at the time either.
But the scene that everyone loves is the proposal scene, where the whole way through it, you think you can't get together with you because he's married.
Yes.
And then finally, you discover that he's not married. So if we just watch the beginning of that scene, because it is very, very lovely.
Then you are not married.
No. Now, it's very good crying. Can I say, I have spoken to the audience before about laughing at people's acting. Don't be doing that. It was very good. But
it's supposed to be funny. That was the point. I started crying. We got halfway through it, and you said, "You're not going to do it like that, are you?"
Well, I don't like anyone being good in a scene with me. I hate that. I was supposed to be full of love for you, and I felt nothing but undiluted loathing.
Did you really not know she was just going to bawl the whole way through it?
No, because you've done that thing that really good actors do in rehearsal of sort of almost nothing. So you don't. They keep it. They save it. And then I get that bloody thing.
No, because you kept going.
Yeah, all the way through. That's the gag.
but you are incredibly good at the crying, Emma. I mean, there's that one. There's The Remains of the Day. That crying.
A lot of crying.
Is sensational at the end of it. And of course, Love Actually. Everyone loves the Love Actually crying.
Heart-wrenching.
No, see, look, everyone loves that crying.
Horrible.
Do you have a shortcut to crying?
No.
Like a dead dog or whatever?
No. No, I don't. No.
But are you upset when you're crying, or are you just like
yes, I'm
crying
generally
now?
speaking pretending to be somebody else. And that person, whoever it is in some difficulty for whatever reason, and that produces the emotion required to
But fascinating.
Fascinating.
I could no more do it than fly. I have to have a woman come and blow Vicks Sinex into my eye. And even then, all you get is 3 yards of snot.
How does an actor prepare to play a zombie?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what we did. We watched a lot of zombie films. And then it was just kind of that thing of... it's kind of being really hungover. That's what I kind of thought about a lot of the time. Just that feeling when you wake up and you know, you can't really talk, you're groaning, you feel terrible. And I tried not to blink a lot, because I thought zombies probably wouldn't blink.
Of course,
which was
yes.
a bad decision. There were some long scenes. And then, the difficult bit is the zombie run. Because then, like, zombie walking, you just kind of slow shuffle. But Teresa's a really quick runner. And there's a few scenes where we're running around, and I'm trying to keep up, but in a zombie fashion. And I just...
You gotta show us.
I look like an idiot.
You gotta show us.
No, come
right,
do the zombie run.
Do the zombie run.
Where should I go?
Okay, anywhere.
Oh, man, I can't believe I'm doing this. I haven't done it in a little while. I'll do it along.
Okay, do it along. Okay.
All right.
Okay. And zombie stairs
Do you want
as
to
well.
chase you to get you a bit of...
Yeah, you come up and... You ready?
Hold on.
Okay. Set.
Action!
That was actually really good.
We really lost you.
That was action.
But the staring does sound really horrible. Like, did you genuinely not blink?
I think I blinked once, but that's later on when he starts to get more human. But I was wearing contact lenses, which actually really helps for not blinking.
Oh. That was just a choice you made, or is that something... I mean, is that...
Yeah, it was a dumb choice I made when I was speaking to the director one day, and I was like, I don't think zombies would really blink. They don't need to do that. And he was like, yeah, OK, cool, give it a shot. And I'd sit there, maybe in the middle of the scene, and I'll be looking, I'll be like, oh, man, my eyes are hurting so much. But yeah, it kind of maybe worked.
Oh, should we try? You've got 2 Oscars, you don't have to do this. Let's...
We're doing a staring contest?
Let's do a staring thing.
No, I'm in it. I'm in.
Oh, you're in? Oh,
I'm in.
Are you really competitive?
This is the best staring contest.
I'm already...
Can I just say...
No blinking, right?
I sort of already know Denzel's going to win this. You're staring into camera 5.
OK.
Bill's on 4. Nick's on 7.
OK.
And I have a range of cameras. All right. OK, don't start yet. Hang on. OK, here we go. So, 3, 2, 1, stare.
I blinked. Well done. Tearing up.
Oh, they're still going. I gave up. Oh, he's good.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Nicholas Holmes, our winner. Very good.
but as always, a stellar cast, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio, Samuel L. Jackson. And I just wonder, does anyone turn you down?
Well, every once in a while it happens. I mean, actually, one of the, a weird, one of the things was, like, in the case of, say, Pulp Fiction. I had worked with Michael Madsen on Reservoir Dogs, and we really got along, and I thought he was terrific. So I actually wrote the character that John Travolta played, Vincent Vega. I wrote it for Michael Madsen.
Oh, right.
And so I write the whole script for him, and I'm working on this script for, like, 7 months. And he knows it's coming. He knows I'm writing it. And he's like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to do it. It's going to be great. 2 weeks before I finish the script, he takes a job on Wyatt Earp, and he can't do it.
So that explains the Black Mamba in Kill Bill 2.
But then did you have to really fight to get John Travolta into it?
Yeah, no one wanted John Travolta. No one wanted John Travolta. Yeah, well, everyone can say, but at that, in the film he did just before Pulp Fiction was Look Who's Talking 3. He's actually quite funny in those movies.
That is a great film.
It's a trilogy. All right, it's a trilogy.
Oh, the cross-referencing. It's like Back to the Future.
But then I can't imagine how ballsy it is. You're a young director, you've got John Travolta, and you're showing him how to dance. You're teaching him how to dance.
I didn't have to teach John Travolta how to dance.
Could you dance like that? No.
Oh, yeah, no, I wanted him to dance a particular way. It was a certain kind of way. I'll do it. You don't need to do it. All right?
I've got an electric pig trot in here.
Well, here's the thing. Let me set it up.
Okay, you set it up.
Because it's a twist. Now, twists can be kind of boring. So part of the thing about it is I wanted Vincent and Mia, i.e. Uma Thurman, to have 2 different characters when they twist. All right? When Vince twists, I wanted him to be kind of rich. Like that.
It's good.
Thank you. But when Mia twists, the image that I had in my mind was the Zsa Zsa Gabor cat from the Aristocats. And there's that one little scene where the Aristocats dance, and she kind of like...
Tom, lots of your fans in the audience, lots of your fans everywhere. But is it always the same? What do people mostly ask you? What do people mostly say to you and shout out to you when they see you?
Oh, they used to yell, Houston, we have a problem. They used to yell that. They yell, run, Forrest, run. That's a biggie. Yeah. But now they just, they just yell, Wilson! They yell a lot of Wilsons over there.
And is it the same? Is it the same everywhere? Like if you're in, I don't know.
Yes, yeah. Evidently, Wilson is a universal language word that they don't bother dubbing into any other language. So it's in Hindi, it's in Japanese, Chinese. Wilson! Pretty much all around the world.
Because I didn't realize till you were coming this time that in Forrest Gump, the famous voice that you use as Forrest, it came from a specific person.
Young Michael Connor Humphreys, who played young Forrest Gump. We were trying to... Bob Zemeckis came to me and said, hey, we got a problem on this. There's Michael right there, Sally and Michael. Aww. He was a very young man. He's now a veteran. He served in Afghanistan. Bob said, okay, we got a problem here. You're going to have to teach this kid how to talk the way you want to talk. And I thought, why don't I just talk the way he talks right now? And so we started hanging out with him. And he was from Mississippi, deep in Mississippi. And he had this hard G at the end of his, if he said it wasn't thinking, it was thinking. It wasn't making, it was making. And I said, what does your father do? My daddy makes grease. That's what he said. And he said, I don't understand. Is grease something you make? Yes. He says, what do you do with grease? Well, grease goes into all different sorts of products. And I said, well, like what products? Oh, grease goes into lipsticks. And I was like, well, this is it. So somewhere I have cassettes, hours and hours of me just making chit-chat with a very young Michael McConaughey.
But he doesn't talk like that anymore.
No, he doesn't. It was just he was 7, 8 years old. He was a young man, and that was the vernacular that we spoke in, and it was priceless.
Oh, that's adorable. When you say you were in the van, how much time did you spend in the van, and how unpleasant does it get in the van?
It was very... What was difficult, as you might say, was getting in and out of it.
Yes.
And how the hell that woman did it. I mean, you just can't imagine, because it's the smallest space, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to think, we're talking for a very long time. And she... I don't want to go into it, but she did everything there.
She did.
Go no further, but she did. She did everything.
Over the course of the filming, apparently, I think you were saying, Alex, that the van was shared.
Yes, there was... So we were filming in Alan's house, and the van was back in the street. And it was disgusting. I mean, it was full of bits of old vegetables and...
It was horrible. It was horrible.
Sanitary ware hanging
Oh,
up.
don't!
And...
It wasn't mine, it was Miss Shepherd.
It was. And there was some kind of clearly token security when we weren't filming there. And security came in one morning. We were due to start shooting, I don't know, quite early in the morning, and discovered 4 feet kind of poking out the end of the van. And 2 Camden Town revellers had broken into the van and spent the night in it. And they got rid of them, cleaned the van out of all this stuff, cleaned it, put it back before she came on set.
She.
And didn't tell Maggie.
They didn't tell. They didn't dare. Everybody was sworn to secrecy. Don't tell Maggie. Don't. What they thought I would do, I don't know, because I was sorely tempted to come like Miss Shepherd tonight. Awful thing of what should I wear? What should I wear? And I feel sort of haunted by her, because she lived in Storrington, which is quite near where I live. I lived in the village next, or the little place next. They sort of... She was in a nunnery, because she was wanting... Or I don't know whether she wanted to become a nun, but it was certainly one of the ideas of the family. I think they thought it was a good idea to, I think, do that. And there used to be a huge nunnery in Storrington. And... when I go in there, which I do sometimes, I go to Waitrose and various things, and I always think, oh, I wonder what it was like when she was here, you know, as a sort of young person, and it's very odd playing a person who's real, which is what you found, isn't it?
Mm. So you've got Alan Bennett on one side, but then, and you know, even the fact that they wouldn't tell you that people were in the van. I mean, is it kind of intimidating when Dame Maggie Smith is on the set? For you, not for you. I point around you. I point around you.
No, it's not intimidating. We've worked...
Yes, it is.
There's the odd moment.
I'll tell you something. I was much more intimidated because every single person on that set had been at the National with Nick Heitner, or they'd been in the History Boys. So I was such an outsider you wouldn't believe. I really felt that I ought to audition. I really did.
Well, you did the play, that was...
No, but I felt like an outsider.
Audition.
You were all very cliquey.
Were we?
Yes, you were. And it made me feel very, very not wanted. So I don't know why you weren't feeling that.
But actually, you do know what it's like from the other side, because I've read in interviews you talked about how intimidating you found it when you, back in the 60s, when you worked with Lawrence Olivier.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because it sounds like he was very tough.
Well, yes, but I mean, I think everybody who worked with him were... I mean, they were in awe. And he hit me very hard one night.
You're kidding?
No, I'm not.
On stage?
Yes, he was a bit cross with me. And at one point, he had to say, "Out, devil." And he slapped me. And I hit the floor, and I think it was Edward Petherbridge, who was a Venetian gentleman, apparently said, "Oh, Mags." I don't remember because I literally went out and I remember saying, well, I did see stars at the National Theatre. I really did.
But when you did Desdemona to his Othello, it does sound like you gave as good as you got.
Yes. Oh, yeah, oh, that's... You mean... Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, this was when he was doing Othello and he was wearing all that makeup, all that... And I used to stick his eyelashes on for him. Because he had these great big eyelashes. And he said... Well, I went in one night and he said, oh, darling Maggie, I've been meaning to tell you, I think your vowels are not really very good, so, you know, could you watch it? Anyway, so I went in the next night to do the eyelashes and things and said, how now, brown cow? And he didn't get it.
But you asked me what it's like, you know, being with Maggie is, you know, it's working with the best, because she is the best.
She is. She's the best.
I know that's not true.
So you're... And before you film or before you go on stage, you're getting, like, fantastic nuggets about Noel Coward and Lawrence Olivier, or being taught Polari by Kenneth Williams, or working with Betty Davis.
Yeah.
And she's really naughty as well.
But the thing is, you have had this extraordinary career, and, you know, I mentioned the Oscars in the introduction and things, but Harry Potter, weirdly... But that did sort of change your life in a way.
Well, yes, a lot of very small people kind of used to say hello to me, and that was nice. It was a whole different lot of people.
Yes, but also so weird that they'd only know you for that one thing, like you'd never existed before.
No, I never had. And except one kid once said to me, he said, were you really a cat? And I heard myself say, just pull yourself together. How could I have been? Anyway.
Welcome back to everybody. Everybody's been here before, yes. You a lot. You've been here.
Too much, yes.
No, never too much.
I've overdone it.
No. And now, my American friends, have you appeared on stage or... OK. Have any of you appeared or worked with a dame before, an actual dame?
I guess I technically have. Yes.
OK. That's all I want to know.
OK, great. Yes, Saturday Night Live, Helen Mirren.
Wow. She's a dame.
Yes, Dame
She'll
Helen
do.
Mirren, yes.
Is that when you were quite physical with her?
If you call motorboating her physical, which it is, very intimate. Yes, I would say yes.
Have you been motorboated, Dame Judy?
Never.
Never?
But there's always time.
Yes. Jamie loves a challenge.
His lips.
That would go viral. I'm pretty sure that would go viral. Well, now, Dame Judy, obviously one of our finest actors. And I think the performing bug bit early on, because I know you know this picture. I don't know how old you were, but clearly you are the star of this show. Here they are. Can you tell which one is Dame Judy? It's this one, who's taken her socks off to upstage the others.
I pushed my way to the front there.
You really did. Look at, she looks so unimpressed. I wore socks.
That girl on the right is Angela Beresford, and she couldn't stand the middles of sandwiches. She's come to our house and say, I can't eat this sandwich, I can't eat this, and I can't eat that and that and that.
But she would eat the bread.
She ate the bread.
OK.
Perhaps you should make her a bread sandwich.
Right. I should have thought of it, didn't I, earlier?
Just give her a loaf. I like this one at the end, who just didn't get the memo about the costume at all. Her mother hated her. Go in that, you'll be fine. But what's interesting is, because of Hairspray, which, you know, big hit on Broadway, the West End, and the musical movie, presumably it's introduced a whole different group of people to your work.
Yes.
And so how does that work?
Well, it's a problem sometimes when they've only seen Hairspray and they say, let's get another John Waters movie. And they take home Pink Flamingos. And they've called the police before. And I get not liking it, but why do they call the police, you know? I didn't call the police in Forrest Gump. I felt like it, you know. I mean, sometimes everybody has things that make them angry films, you know, that they don't go for. So, yes, they have called the police because of it before.
But why?
Because they're offended, you know. And I said, they thought, I guess it was about Florida or something. I don't know. But they thought it was going to be a family film, but I don't know.
And fashion, obviously, a very important part in your life. And there's a whole chapter in the book on fashion and your kind of your concept of fashion.
Well, I like Reiko Akuba Come to Garçon because her look is like disaster at the dry cleaners. Like, if I bring this coat to my cleaner, they think, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. They like your pants. I mean, it's a very similar thing. It looks like something went wrong. You're shopping in reverse. And I wear these clothes to blue-collar bars in Baltimore, so it's not bragging. They don't know it's fashion. They've said to me, that's a shame about that coat.
Do you like fashion, Miranda?
Well, look at her, yes.
No, I mean, I should pay more attention. No, not really. I mean, I hate shopping so much that I just sort of would rather wear a bin. Yeah, so I'm sort of getting more interested now, but not really, no.
And you seem more interested in fashion than you've ever been.
Yeah, you like what I'm wearing?
I love it.
This is sort of a Cuban... It's a Cuban thing that my wife bought for me. It's sort of a Havana. You got the pockets here.
I like that.
You got the pockets here. You got the cool stripes.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
And a nice zip, no button action.
Zipper. Let's get sexy if you want it. Bieber doesn't have this stuff here.
And is it true, Julia, that you go to see your own films in movie theaters?
Not really. That sounds like I'm very interested in myself.
But you have been to the movies.
Yes, I have. I have seen myself in movies.
Was it Mystic?
Very good.
Was it Mystic Pizza? Yeah, you are very good. Yeah. No one's going to disagree. You've got prizes. But did you go to see Mystic Pizza, or is Mystic Pizza out and you went to see a movie?
So when Mystic Pizza came out, Mystic Pizza, which was, look at us. Look at us.
Oh,
look at the cheeks on me. That is a sign of youth. I went home to Smyrna, Georgia, where I'm from, to visit my mom, and we went to the movies at a movie theater that was across from the yogurt shop where I used to work at the mall. And we went to the movies, and after the movie, we went to the bathroom, as one does, and I hear this voice say, "Hey, girl in stall number 1, were you in Mystic Pizza?" And I said, yeah. Will you sign this and this piece of paper and a pen? And I said, I can't do that right now.
Well, did you sign much love, girl in stall?
Now, you mentioned Bolton in your school.
Yes.
This is so sweet. I haven't seen this picture before. This is you in school, and you've sort of changed a lot and not changed at all. This is you just in there. What were you giving?
Well, that was a play called Friar Bacon and Friar Bungay. It's an Elizabethan play written about Shakespeare's time, and I was playing the young heroine.
But there were girls in the school.
You can't quite see the boy in the 6th form who I was madly in love with. Do you want to try and find him? Brian Oakley.
He's quite handsome, that one.
No. Never mind.
Him? I don't know him. I'm going to struggle. I mean, it's a good game, but I'm not sure I'll get it.
Yes.
He might be just out of shot, I think, yes. Oh, dear. And people obviously get very excited when you go on tour and places rather. So you've got a blue plaque, haven't you? Most people have to die to get a blue plaque. Don't you have one in Liverpool?
I've got a number of blue plaques.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I've got one on the house where I was born, in Burnley, but I did go and visit it on my second only visit to Burnley, because we left when I was 2 months old, and I think they put it on the wrong house. No, this other one is in Liverpool, I think, or Leeds, maybe.
I think it's Liverpool. We thought it was Leeds, but...
I think it's Liverpool.
We think it's Liverpool.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, what was I doing there? I think...
I can tell you what you were doing there. I can tell you what you were doing there. Siri McGillen sat here on table 5 and enjoyed a jacket potato and a latte. That's precisely what you were doing there.
Yeah.
Where, do you know where that is?
It's on the university campus.
Oh,
in
OK.
the centre of town, yes.
Was it a nice potato?
Liverpool's looking gorgeous these days since they've done it up. Oh, yes. I used to go to Liverpool when I was a kid, and it was a dangerous and dirty and dank place, pre-Beatles, everything. But now, of course, it's spanking. It's terrific.
Oh, it's beautiful now, yes. And in the show, obviously, you'll be, you know, as you said, you'll be talking about Shakespeare and doing scenes.
Yes.
But you'll be also telling stories about your life and people you worked with. Yeah. There's a story... Actually, Damon Judy Dench tried...
Don't ask me to tell another Maggie Smith story.
No.
Every time I see her, she says, "You've not been doing me again."
Now you've done her again.
No,
Oh, dear.
No, I was going to say, Judi Dench tried to tell a story about you and her at Buckingham Palace.
Mm.
Do you remember this story?
In the throne room?
Yes.
Yeah. It was a very posh occasion.
I can imagine.
Every occasion at Buckingham Palace is posh, I suppose. I was sitting next to the Queen's late sister, Vanessa Kirby, Princess Margaret. So the banquet was over and you were free to go around and there was a sound of music playing. You know, perhaps there was a dance going along. And so Judy and I went along the corridor and into what we both felt was a vaguely familiar room. There was a little band playing. And we had a little twirl around the room and nobody else there. I said, "I think this is the throne room." You know, where you got made a dame and I got made a knight, and, you know, the two thrones for the Queen and her consort. I said, "But where are they?" She said, "I don't know, let's have a look." So we went on dancing round, round the corner and found ourselves behind the band, and there, behind this sort of partition, was the thrones.
Oh, wow.
So we sat on them. That's all. It brings out the worst in you, Buckingham Palace. I was doing an event there, a sort of part of a concert, and I was given a dressing room, which was a guest room at the front of Buckingham Palace. And you looked out of the window, you were right next to the balcony.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I could just go out there and have a fag. So and there I am, looking down the Mall. And suddenly there's a minor searchlight on me, and below there's a policeman saying, "Sir Ian, don't forget you're in Buckingham Palace." Well, about 6 months later, I'm going along to get a medal on this occasion. And as we came through the gates, there was the same policeman. He said, "Oh, not you two again."
And talking of getting parts in films, Rosamund, you in Gone Girl, to make sure you got that part, you went to extraordinary ends. Where were you? You were in Scotland.
No, I was in Glasgow, and I'd rented a remote cottage for the film I was doing, which is sort of my wont to get out of the way. But then, of course, I didn't have a very good internet connection, and David Fincher wanted to do multiple Skypes with me. So I had to join the Virgin Active in Glasgow, the gym. And then proceed never to use the gym, but to ask occasionally for a conference room. I don't know what they thought I was up to, but anyway, I did get a very good internet service, thank you, Richard Branson. And it came to the point where David wanted to run through some lines and do some scenes. And there's a scene towards the end of the film where Amy is... you know, really playing it up for the FBI and talking about the abuse she suffered. She didn't suffer any at the hands of Desi. And I used to have to say things like, you know, I was spread-eagled on a bed and I was shaved and raped and, you know, it gets pretty dark, right? Anyway, I'm doing this with the sort of best of my gusto and there's this nervous knock at the door, and this woman poked in. She says, "I'm terribly sorry." She says, "We're actually closing now." And I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, "I should say that if you were listening to it." She goes, "No need to explain." And I thought, "Oh my goodness, she thinks I'm here for therapy."
Just shut the door.
That's hilarious, man. Rafe, you hate prosthetics and things, don't you?
I don't love them, no.
But don't you choose jobs to avoid them?
After Voldemort, I did. I have, yeah, yeah.
Because how much of that is prosthetics on Voldemort?
Actually, to be honest, on Voldemort, not so much. There's a lot of painting and...
Oi, oi, oi. Hard.
Very little, actually.
Teeth, the eyes...
Yeah, it's more or less. I see what you mean, yeah.
Latex around the eyes.
They shave the beard off, right? Yeah.
That's a good look.
But wasn't there a moment when you kind of knew the Voldemort look was working, when you were on set? And you met her?
Yeah, I passed by the script supervisor, had a little boy, he was on set.
His son, maybe?
Her son, I
okay.
think, for 5 years old. Anyway, I passed by this little child. I just looked at this boy. He just burst into tears.
The costume must have helped as well, because it's quite frightening.
The costumes actually wasn't that. It was just a lot of flowing, silky stuff that I kept tripping over. And I had these tights on underneath. And they were like ladies' tights.
And they ripped in the middle.
Can I just say?
Came out.
No, they didn't rip.
But I think they were like ladies' tights. Are there other sorts of tights?
Well, they're not the sort of tights you wear at the RSC.
Oh, OK. But you did have a problem
No,
with
what happened was that the tights used to work their way down, so the gusset of the tight was sort of around my knees. So I couldn't walk as elegantly as I would like as Voldemort. So eventually then I said to the dresser, he's called Neil, he's very sweet. He's always had his head up my skirt, trying to adjust things. And I said, would he mind cutting them off so I had a garter belt? So for most of Harry Potter, underneath the robes, I have very nice garter belts.
You spoilt it for everyone now. The thing that interests me about your job is you're not just kind of the star of the film, you're not just the actor. When you're on set, you set the tone of, the approach to the work, the dedication, all of that stuff. You do all of that. Did you learn how to be that sort of set leader, cast leader from some of the greats that you worked with, like Newman or Hoffman and people?
I was always kind of just had a great work ethic. I think it's something that in my life from, I've had jobs since I was a little kid, shoveling snow and newspapers, selling cards door to door, because we had to make money. And I liked it. I liked having my own money and working. And so I always worked very hard. But definitely I was fortunate to be able to work with, great artists that were very generous with me, from film directors to actors, the Duvall, Hackman, Newman. But just to be able to watch them work on set, every day I was there. So I was very fortunate.
I heard you tell a story about Paul Newman teaching you something very specific on The Colour Money.
I remember we were doing Colour Money, and I went actually from Top Gun to Colour Money, and we were shooting Colour Money in Chicago. But I don't know if you've been to... Do you ever do a show in Chicago?
A lot.
Okay.
In another life, believe it or not, I used to work for a pharmaceutical company, and the American Society of Immunology... The American Society of Immunology used to have their annual meeting in Chicago, and our company office used to be in Chicago, so I've been to Chicago about 15 times.
Well, you know how cold it is in Chicago.
A pharmaceutical meeting is not like making the colour. I am not going to talk
I understand.
But it's a cold, cold system.
I understand. But a young actor, though, I was there, and I tried my wardrobe on in the summer, and I was like, I'm going to have a leather jacket and T-shirt, and I'm going to have my hair blown back. It's guaranteed up to 90 miles an hour. And there I am in January, and I'm shooting this scene. And I remember in the script, it was like outside. I didn't think about it. Wardrobe's like, yeah, it looks great. And I am doing this scene, and I'm telling you, it's so cold, I can't even speak. And I'm in between takes, and he's in a car, and I'm running to this area. They're trying to thaw. And Newman's like, where's the kid? Where's the kid? It's like, I'm just trying to, he's like, where's the kid? So I have this scene where he's in the car and I'm next to him. And I look in, I'm like, what? He had the warm coat. He had the heater in there, but it was an electric heater, okay? And he just loved the fact that he's driving this car, and he's got the electric heater, the warm coat, and I'm in the T-shirt, and he looked at me, he's like, T-shirt. He said, you tried your wardrobe on in the summer, didn't you? And I was like, yes, sir, I did. He's like, watch and learn, kid. Watch and learn. I never forgot it. I literally never forgot. I was like, now I'm like, okay, where am I doing? It's like the time when you choose food to eat in a scene. And I was working with Coppola, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to eat chocolate cake in this scene. You know, I can get away. We had bets going on with the other actors, and I thought, you know, because I have to do it in the scene. It's part of the character. I'm going to eat chocolate cake. We ended up shooting the scene for 3 days, and we did like 100 takes of me eating chocolate cake, and I had to keep eating it. I was like, it was like the first couple of takes, I was like, oh, this is so good. You know, I have to eat it.
Oh,
They're bringing the cake. I was so moist. It's the worst, isn't it? And then it was like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, did we get it? You know? Did we get this take? And Francis kept saying, let's do it again. 3 days where I was like 100. I was in sugar shock. I was vomiting. So, chocolate cake and Paul Newman, the weather.
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned. Lessons learned.
And in terms of becoming the gladiator, you know, the physicality of it, how much did that entail?
It's lots of, like, chicken breasts and heavy lifting of things.
Heavy things.
And my trainer will not mind me saying this, but my trainer is the biggest man that I have ever seen in my entire life. You remember him, Tim was like...
Yeah, he was a big boy.
And he's like this gentle giant of a man. And the first time that I met him, I was in a hotel in London, and this huge man, like arms the size of my legs, walks in, and we go up to my hotel room, and he just stands there cross-armed and he goes, take your clothes off. Okay, this is what they do in the big movies. This is how this works. So I'm stood there in my underwear. I'm a little bit hungover, and he just starts circling me like a shark, like just processing. He goes, "Okay, there's a canvas to work with," and then starts basically grading my body parts and goes, "The arms we're going to struggle with, but that's But he just went to town. But it's like a total first world problem. It's like you've one of the best trainers in the world. You have your food delivered to you, and it's fun. Like yeah.
Now, here's the thing. We'll talk about the Day of the Jackal later, but while we're on the subject of, you know, keeping fit, check out Eddie. I mean, look at that one. R.I.P.P.E.D.
I profoundly disagree with Paul. It's not fun. No way, shape or form fun. It's horrendous, and you eat so much chicken.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a...
You look so good there.
Thank you, Paul. That means great to body. This scene in the series was one of those moments. And as an actor, you kind of read this stuff, and particularly if you're into a character, and then you read the scene, and it's like, and he's topless, and he's doing a plank, and he's kind of like sort of sinuous and ripped, and you're like, oh, fuck. Here comes the chicken diet. But what was horrific is we did this day, and I'd literally sort of eaten nothing but chicken, done sit-ups, like thousands of sit-ups for weeks on end, arrive, and you care about the lighting, it's all about like how the thing works, and we do this scene, and the director, Anthony's like, it's one shot, comes through a window, comes down over your rippling body, like through the mirror. We do it, and again, you're sitting there, you feel such a tool. You're doing like some press-ups before the thing, everyone's looking.
It's so embarrassing.
Do the thing, you're trying to pretend that you're doing the scene, but actually you notice in that photo, I'm like looking at my watch, but I'm like... all that. And then, anyway, do the scene, and it's horrific. But it goes on all day, and you're like, that's the thing. And then straight after they call cut, you know, burgers, bolognese, it's like, covered in clothes for the rest of the shoot. And I get a call the following day going, so there was a problem with that.
Oh.
And I said, there was not a problem. Whatever it is, find a way in the edit, because I'm not doing that again.
Because when you did Hannah, Saoirse, like, did they make you... Because you were young in Hannah.
I was young, yeah, I was like 15.
But to get into all the martial arts and the fighting and the things, did they make you do all the things they're talking about, eating chicken and all that stuff.
So good in that movie.
Don't laugh.
Sorry, let's just look at this for a second.
That's a cult classic.
What's going on
That is
here?
a cult classic. She's just shot a deer.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
In the snow.
Yeah.
Stop laughing, Paul.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen this.
It's a really good film.
movie.
It's a really good film.
I want to go as you for Halloween.
I trained. You've had your time, Tom.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Somehow I knew to back up.
No, we love each other. No, I trained for like 5 hours a day. So I would do like 2 hours of working out in the gym in the morning, and then I'd take a break, and then I would do 2 hours of martial arts in the evening, and I did that for a few months. And to do that at 15 is pretty intense. And you don't, which is sad actually, I didn't necessarily want to look strong when I was that age, whereas now I love it and I love working out. But it's amazing, like I don't know if you guys have found this, like the focus that it gives you. Because you're so clear in your head and you're so sort of stimulated every day that actually I think you get more. You know what I mean?
So much, it's horrendous. I can't do it if I have to because I'm paid to.